So the first video I made of this deleted everything, and that's another reason why I fucking hate this app. I don't want to come back when I leave. It was really good. I finally watched it. The connections confused me, and it did feel a little forced in that way. But I did really appreciate how they really mapped out how devastating someone's entitlement can be. Like one person, like a family was destroyed by one boy's act of entitlement and sense of an inability to understand consequences for actions. I'm glad that the grandpa finally got it towards the end, but took way too long. All this shit could have been avoided if you raised your kids properly. Um, I think it was a little bit forced that it was the lawyer's wife that did the murder. I think it would have been cooler if we just let the art teacher get away with killing her husband if he deserved it. Because there was that thing with the student, right? But I wasn't really clear on whether or not that was one-sided or not. I forgot, basically. But if it wasn't one-sided, then he should have deserved it, and it would have been like a lot cooler of a plot point. But for it to be like this random act because of someone else's entitlement, I understand the theme, but I'm like, it would have been cooler. It would have been cooler. It wouldn't have felt as forced. And there was something about the end about her moving to Thailand, where, as much as I love that for her, she deserves it. Take your time, rest. From a writer's point of view, from a director's point of view, I'm like, what? Other than like the connection between like, oh, I knew somebody that used to be here. Why Thailand? I'm like, why Thailand? I don't understand the entire beef and the entire history behind the rifts between the countries in Asia, but something about that is giving colonization. Not from the character's standpoint, where it's just like, girl, I'm just gonna live in Thailand. Me and my child, I'm just gonna do better. I'm just gonna look for better in my life. But something about it takes something from me. Like I couldn't. It's not her intentions exactly. It's the intentions behind the writer, the producer, whoever fucking wrote this shit. I'm like, gotta side eye it just because of how you guys interact with each other, like nowadays with colorism so rampant in y'all's veins. It's a little bit of a side eye. Just a little bit of a side eye. Not for her, but for the writers. Yeah, like overall, I understand how it got to the point for our main antagonist, if you would call her that, because maybe like she's an antagonist. Don't get me wrong. From a writer's standpoint, she's an antagonist, or anti-hero at least. But there's something about sympathizing with antagonists for me. Hold on. Lady antagonists for me, where I'm just like, but can you blame her? But can you blame her? Yes, I think the teenager who did all this deserved to die. He was not gonna get any better. Like his parents, like you would hope that trauma of losing his parents would set in at some point. But at the end of the day, with the harm that you have already caused and your inability to understand how harmful it was, and your grandpa's covering for you at every second, like, y'all, like, it gets to a point. It will always get to a point, and a lot of times when it gets to that point, it has dragged on for too long. So I'm glad he's out of the picture. She did great employing who she needed to employ. And even then, did we ever really find out who she really employed? Other than, like, she just has people under her thumb, I guess. But, But it wasn't that she was really employing people for real. It was just the lawyers just covering their tracks. And even then, I felt like the lawyer's position was a little bit forced. Something about them was just like, you guys are just plot furtherers. You have no other, but mind you, other than the entitlement, I think it is just like the processing of understanding that this whole thing is really just about a certain class of people or type of people's entitlement towards other people. Because the way the art critic was murdered because he was rude, not only does that feel random as fuck, but just the idea of like someone being obligated to help you be a fraud or be, like someone, like you feel someone should be obligated to help you out just because you throw some money in their face or something. The entitlement factor. And I don't know. I don't know if that was like the general theme throughout, but it definitely felt like it. Because for her to get to that point of revenge because of some kid's entitlement and his family's entitlement to just keep the peace in their own lifestyle no matter how they fuck up someone else's, that's interesting. But then it makes you think about the art teacher, and it's like, what is her entitlement in that way? Is her entitlement to, like, how did she really get roped into this for real, It's hard to really piece it together. That's why it feels like it would have been easier and a lot more interesting, I think, to just give her a reason to kill him and let her get away with it. Like the student affair, along with her trying to have a baby, and along with, the stresses of his job. I think that could have been like a new topic to discuss, marital issues. But for it to just be that random, I'm like, yeah, I guess we could talk about classism. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we could talk about it. Because but yeah. It was good. I liked how they wrapped it up to some degree or another. It was, I couldn't blame them for her dying because it's just like, yeah. I'm like, you went on this entire bender because you didn't have anything else to live for. And yes, I'm going to say it. I think it's messed up that they just took her lover away from her. Because yes, that was a lesbian relationship. You're telling me these girls were so close in Thailand and she didn't have anyone who were looking for her when she died, which is odd enough, and y'all just needed to kill her off for her to have a name? That's a lesbian relationship that you don't want to talk about. But, that's just another one of those things where it's like, feels kind of forced, but okay, I'll accept it, but I do think it was pretty fucked up that they just killed off her lover like that. Like, she could have had one more thing to live for, but y'all just wanted to ruin her life so bad. And I gotta be like, dang, it's cause she gay, ain't she? It's cause she gay, ain't she? Fucked up. Fucked up. You didn't want to mention that she's gay, but anyway. It was a lot of interesting plot points and a lot of interesting webbing that they made. Although I didn't think it was all completely necessary. I do understand why they did it. I believe so. It was pretty good. Pretty damn good. In a perfect world, she got her revenge and her lover, and she got away with it. And so-and-so's whatever didn't have to die, and he wasn't having an affair with a child. Allegedly. But, good plot. Good sense of justice, although was it the one that I wanted? No, because I'm hard to please in that aspect. But they did pretty well. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit.